It's the Refined Reseller. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. There was a very unusual garage sale where I live. I saw some pictures on Facebook and Craigslist. It was actually a company who put on Comic-Con events and conventions for a number of years, and they had gone out of business. So they were selling all of the stuff that they had left over from some of those events. I checked out the pictures. I knew there was some value in some of the items. The sale started at 7 o'clock. I got there at 6. I was the second person in line, and I bought some stuff. So take a look at this video from me buying stuff from this company that put on Comic-Con events, and then I will show you exactly some of the stuff that I bought and what I have sold some of the stuff for. So take a look.
What'd you see?
Hey, ma'am, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Can I help you ask you something?
Yeah. Go watch the door. Okay.
How much if I buy all of these?
All of them?
Yeah, all the anime, all the anime.
Come here. Oh, it's coming. Hold. Or you go over and one of y'all. He wants to buy all the anime.
All the anime.
All of
Did you
them?
give me a deal if I bought them all?
I don't know. Let's see how many we have.
Those all anime? Those aren't anime, are they? 95, 96, 97.
What about the beginners?
99. 102. 103. 4, 5, 6, 106. 107. I don't know if I want those, but 107? How much?
Okay, so with 107, that
Yeah.
would normally be 214.
Yes, ma'am.
So 180 is the lowest. That's
Okay,
it.
I'll take them.
All right.
Thanks. Just make sure. Can I put them
I'll
somewhere?
put these over here.
Dude, I was like Matthew McConaughey and Interstellar last night.
So whenever I can, I try to buy in bulk, and I bought all of those DVDs. Now, as you noticed, I paid $180 for 107 DVDs. That's much more than I normally pay. But these are anime DVDs. They're more valuable than I think than regular DVDs. You know, when I normally buy DVDs, I try not to pay more than 25 cents a piece, especially if I'm buying in bulk. But in this case, I paid about $1.80 for each of these DVDs. Now, I have put some on sale on eBay, and I have sold some. So let me show you exactly what I have sold so far. The first one I sold, I knew had value. It's 39 episodes. It consists of 9 discs. I didn't know exactly the value, so instead of doing buy it now, I put it on auction. And as you can see, it sold for $123.50. It is titled The Story of Sai Unkoku. I have no idea what that means, but again, when I don't know what the value is of something, I will put it on auction, and I got $123.50 for this one. Next, I sold this Marduk Scramble. It is a trilogy. It sold for $38. Then I sold this next one. It is called Golden Boy, and it sold for $17. I also sold this one right here. It's Yurisi Yatsura. It sold for $15. And then I sold this one right here, Sin-Chan Season 1. It all sold for $15. So with just those 5 DVDs that I sold, I generated $208 in sales. After my eBay fees, I have just about broke even for what I have invested. I sold 5, so I have 102 DVDs left, and everything I sell going forward is nothing but profit. Now let me tell you this, there were a lot of other things that I could have bought, but I looked through them. I thought the prices were kind of high. There were some electronics, there were some PS3 consoles, and it's kind of like, buy as is, nothing is guaranteed. So if I don't know that stuff works, I just kind of stay away from it. So I was happy to get the 107 anime DVDs, and I will let you know in future episodes just how well I end up doing with them. Now let's go ahead and continue with some other kind of nerdy stuff, and I'll show you some other stuff I sold recently on eBay. First up is this Lord of the Rings Barbie doll. I had it listed for $99.99. It was new in the box, and I ended up taking a best offer of $89.99. Here's a vintage Stargate t-shirt that I sold. I bought a bunch of vintage t-shirts at one garage sale. I paid $1 for this, and it sold for $17.99. Here's a Lego comic book. I bought a lot of what I thought were Lego monthly magazines. This happened to be in the stack. I bought about 50 of them for $5, and I was happy to know that this had some value. This one right here sold for $45. Then I sold this Spider-Man Disney Infinity figure. I have sold a lot of these over the years. Usually when I find a Spider-Man one, it always sells, and this one sold for $17.99. Now let's take a look at some unusual items that I come across every once in a while, and generally unusual, kind of weird items always do well for me. So let me show you what I bought. First up is this vintage Rolling Stone magazine from 1971. I went to an estate sale. There are a bunch of these magazines and they were $14 each. I started looking through them and I found this one, and it has the original publication of Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I put it up for sale and I ended up selling it for $100. If you may remember, there was a movie made about this article. It came out in, I think, 1998, and it starred Johnny Depp. Here's another kind of weird item that I did well with. When I saw it, I really didn't know what it was, but it is a Revetive Medic Circulation Booster Foot Massager. I paid $20 for it, and I just listed it, and I ended up selling it for $175.99. It had the foot massager deal and a bunch of accessories, and I ended up doing really well with it. Now this is pretty cool. I got this at the world's longest garage sale. I go on it every year. I made a video of my trip this year. If you'd like to watch that video, you can just simply click the link right above it. It'll take you right to it. I bought this. This is from the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. It is a closing ceremony pack. I paid $1 for it, and I ended up selling it for $29.99. Here's a vintage Aladdin Stanley Thermos. I bought this probably about a year ago. I paid $5 for it. I thought it had more value than it did, but anyway, I ended up selling it for $35. As you probably know, I sell a lot of CDs and a lot of record albums, so I just put this lot of Beatles CDs together, and they sold for $39.99. Then I sold this Beatles record. It is called Rarities. It didn't sell for a lot, but you know, I paid $1 for it and it sold for $14.99. And here are some vintage Christmas cards. I bought these in a lot. I think I paid $5 for the lot. There were probably about 20 of these cards. You know, as we get closer to Christmas time, Christmas items start to sell, and I sold each of these for $9.99. I think they're from the 1950s, and it's Bible verses called Scenoramas on these Christmas cards. They're really pretty cool, so keep an eye out for things like this. Now, here are some more common items that I would like to show you, and let's go ahead and start with this pair of women's Fry cowboy boots. I ended up selling them for, let's see, $50. I paid $5 for them. I took a best offer. They were almost new and they did sell. Next, I sold this pair of Magellan Boys Youth shoes. They sold for $29.99. I paid $5 for these as well, and they were new in the box. Here's a Starbucks coffee mug. Some of these are collectible. I bought 12 of these at a garage sale. They were 25 cents a piece, and I ended up selling this one for $17.99. Some Starbucks coffee mugs can be worth as much as $100 or $200. It just matters as to which one you might come across. Here's an item that sells well if you can find it. It is an American Girl product. Any American Girl item usually sells for me. I've sold a lot of dolls, a lot of clothing. This just happens to be a set of books. I paid $5 for these, and I ended up selling them for $29.99. Here's a brand to keep an eye out for. It is Folk Manus. They make plush toys and they also make puppets. This happens to be a hand puppet. I bought 2 of these and I paid $3 for each one. I've already sold the other one, and I sold this one right here for $25. The plush toys they have can sell as upwards of $100 to $200 depending on which one you might find, because I have sold a Folk Manus dragon for $150. So put that on your be on the lookout list for Folk Manus plush toys. Here are a couple of DVDs I sold, and the reason I'm showing you these is because they are in what is called a steel book. A really cool cover. I bought 4 of these for 25 cents each, and I sold both of these each for $19.99, The Fly and Young Frankenstein. And finally, here's a Tito's handmade vodka bar mat. I bought probably 50 of these bar mats at a garage sale. They were, I think I paid $50 for all 50 of them. I have sold a bunch of these, and this one sold for $24.99. So that's all I have for you today. Some DVDs that I bought that were all anime DVDs. I have already made all of my money back. I also showed you some rather weird items, some more nerdy items, and some common items as well. I really hope you learned something from watching this video. If you did, I hope you take the time to like it and subscribe to my channel, and also click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. This is the Refined Reseller saying, as always, do like me, buy low, sell high, good sourcing, good selling, and I'll see you next time.